Most people will never be financially free. Not because they're lazy, not because they lack intelligence, but because the system was never built for that outcome. It keeps people busy, distracted, just comfortable enough not to push back. And by the time most people realize the game is rigged, they've already spent years playing it without ever learning the rules. That's the part no one tells you. You're told to budget, to work hard, to buy a house, to invest in the market. You're told financial freedom is just a matter of discipline and patience. But let's be honest. If discipline alone were enough, every nurse, teacher, and factory worker who saved carefully their entire life would retire wealthy. They don't. And the reason has very little to do with effort, and everything to do with design. Financial freedom isn't just about money. It's about control, time, choices, security. The ability to say no to a boss, to a bill, to a crisis. That kind of freedom isn't handed out. It's built. To understand why most people never reach it, you have to look backward. For most of human history, wealth meant land. Land meant food. Food meant power. In medieval Europe, the majority of people worked land they didn't own. They weren't free. They were bound by rent, debt, and fear. Then came the Industrial Revolution. People weren't tied to soil anymore. They were tied to wages. Factories replaced fields, but the dependency stayed the same. In the 20th century, the middle class emerged. People earned enough to buy homes, raise families, maybe retire. But even then, true freedom was rare. Because the system from education to employment to consumer culture was built to keep people earning and spending. Now look at today. Productivity has exploded. Technology has advanced faster than ever, but real wages for most people haven't kept up. Meanwhile, the cost of living has surged. Housing, healthcare, education. Debt is no longer the exception. It's the default. Add inflation to the mix, the silent force that erodes purchasing power year after year. Every so-called solution seems to involve printing more money. Asset prices rise. Those who already own assets benefit. Those who don't fall further behind. This isn't a mistake. It's how the system works. And here's the most subtle part. The system trains you to blame yourself. Didn't save enough? Your fault. Can't buy a house? Try harder. Living paycheck to paycheck? Budget better. The system never takes responsibility. It just sells you another app, another course, another promise. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people will never be financially free because freedom requires more than income. It requires leverage. Most people trade time for money. Real wealth works the other way around. Money works for you. Assets generate income. Time becomes optional. That shift from labor to leverage is where freedom lives. And it's exactly what most people are never taught to pursue. The financially free play a different game. They own, they compound, they think long-term. They understand structures, incentives, and risk. Meanwhile, everyone else is fed hustle culture and the illusion that effort alone is enough. It feels like progress, but it's a treadmill. Financial freedom isn't rebellion for the sake of rebellion. It's independence. It's refusing to trade your entire life just to survive. And you can't change what you don't understand. That's why financial education matters. Not as motivation, as protection. It starts with asking hard questions. Where is your money really going? How dependent are you on your paycheck? What assets could you build instead of just consuming more? Real wealth isn't about having everything. It's about needing less strategically. The financially free don't react to money. They design around it. They prepare for volatility. They focus on value, not noise. They position themselves to survive downturns, not chase booms. History proves this. Wealth at last isn't built on luck. It's built on ownership, systems, and knowledge passed forward. Most people were trained to consume, earn, spend, repeat. But now you're questioning it. And that's where change begins. The path forward isn't glamorous. It won't make you rich overnight, but it's real. Reduce fragility. Build assets. Protect your mind. Share what you learn. Because most people were never shown how financial freedom actually works. But you can choose differently. Not fantasy freedom. Real freedom. The kind where money becomes a tool, not a tyrant. And it starts now. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If this gave you a new perspective, like the video and subscribe to the channel.